Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to another exciting instalment of OMSI 2. Today we're down in Lincolnshire with the Digibus Mirage, aka Optare Solo. Why are you driving this again, Joe? You did nothing but whinge about this bus in most of your videos. Well, there has been an update, not recently, but since the bus came out there has been updates. It sounds not quite as terrible. I'm not going to say I think it sounds amazing compared to some of the other stuff out there, but it's definitely drivable. I've always really kind of been rooting for this bus because I love the Solo and I think visually it looks brilliant. Just needs a bit more, you know what I mean, a bit more finesse, a bit more polish. But yeah, the reason that we're driving this today rather than one of the other vehicles that we have available to us is because we have this striking Mainline livery, which, okay, perhaps Mainline didn't go on the 101 from Scunthorpe to Scotter. I also need to change that to 101. There we go, not 100. Yeah, so we're on this today. It's by Mark Hodgkinson, and some of you might remember or might recognise that name, Mark Hodgkinson. And Mark Hodgkinson basically did, I've said his name too many times now, basically did all the absolutely brilliant repaints for Bowdenham back in the day on the MAN NL202s, SD202s, all that business with all the South Yorkshire, the Arriva, all the awesome liveries. So I was really excited to see Fellows Film that Mark has started doing liveries again. And of course, what could be more classic than this Mainline livery? So we're going to be driving this on the short run today. I don't know if we've got a timetable. Where are we? There we go. That's oh, we can't click it. Never mind. So we're going to be on the Scunthorpe to Scotter route. 14:45 departure. It's 14:38 now, so we've got a little bit of time, and we get there at 15:11. So it's not the longest route in the world, but I think that this is absolutely suited to the Solo every day of the week. So that's why we are here. Let's let everybody on. I do have ticket selling turned on, but I did turn it on after because we'd done the Iveco Evades video quite a while ago, didn't we? So yeah, I had ticket selling turned off for that. I've turned it on, but I don't think I turned it on quick enough, so I don't think anyone's going to buy a ticket from here. Let's move on a little bit in terms of timings.
Hello.
There we go. So we are ready for departure. 30 seconds. I can never remember. I can absolutely never remember how the route is on this. There we go. We'll just nip out. I can never remember how the route is in terms of timings, like whether it's one where you have to whiz round, one that you have to be fairly slow with. But yeah, we'll leave 30 seconds early, and if needs be, we can always have a little plod. Now, yeah, like I say, I've always been a fan of Mark's liveries, so it's a true pleasure to see him repainting again after a little bit of time off. I'm really looking forward to seeing what else he does. I'm assuming he'll do things for like the Renown, for the Eclipse, for the Veiling business. I have a feeling that we've not actually seen as much as he had. I imagine, and I could become. Oh, hang on, that's the horn. Put the side lights on. There we go. The horn. It's not a default horn. Do you know what? That's fine. It used to be the default MAN horn, and now it's not. So that's good. That's good. Yeah, oh, I think I've just taken out a Mini, or a Mini's just taken me out. That's why you should always look right, look left, and then look right again. I mean, actually, I've not got the directional arrows on, have I? This is absolutely dreadful. It's a good job I have a vague idea where I'm going, because I've spent a lot of time on the Scunthorpe map. Obviously, this is not the Scunthorpe map. This has all been rebuilt. And yeah, Mr. Moose really has done an awesome job, hasn't he? I'm sure you'll agree with me on that. Whether you're a fan of Gainsborough or not, you can't deny that it's a decent looking map. Also, in terms of performance, I have absolutely no issue with performance. I think performance is awesome. Also, I'm acutely aware that some of you will be, oh, he's making a return to OMSI. He's not been on OMSI in a while. I know, we've had a bit of a break from OMSI, haven't we? Kind of lacking inspiration. There's not really been a lot of new things out recently. There is an Iveco Urbanway that's out, but I was reading the Steam reviews. It didn't look that good from what people had said. Now, how on earth is that a day rover? No, there we go. And you need 450. That'll do.
Single, please.
Lovely. Well, I tell you what, a single will be there, won't it? Oh, lovely. 2, 20, 40. Thanks, love. Ah, you see, I'm an absolute expert at this. And away we go. It's yeah, it's truly exciting stuff, isn't it? I do. I've not actually spent as much time on Lincolnshire as I perhaps should have done because I really do like the route. The problem that I have with Lincolnshire, and this is not anything to do with the map. It's not a problem with the map, but yeah, it's a bit long. And like I said, it's based on a real world route, isn't it? So you know, it's of course it's long. It's the full route, Route 100. But for me, I find that I like to do a round trip. You know, that's why I like West Country so much, because what's the word? You can do a couple of round trips. It's half an hour each way. I think that's why I've not done so much on Arcala as well. Although on Arcala you have the option of the shorter routes, you know what I mean, the ones that terminate at Centigo Road. It's quite nice that he's put this 101 in as well, so if you don't quite have the time to do an hour and a half, a 2-hour run, I mean, this is the best part of, is it an hour and 40 minutes, an hour and 50 minutes? Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. It's certainly a long old way, but you can't really go there and back unless you set aside part of your afternoon, you know what I'm saying? It's yeah, it's a little bit of a difficult one. But that doesn't mean it's a bad map, and I think sometimes we don't give this map as much attention as we should do, because I love it. I really, really do love it. Right, then we, yeah. I don't know why I thought we were going to get a green light then. It's me trying to second guess. Right, away we go. Foot down. 1.1 minute late, that's terrible. Although there doesn't look to be anyone here, so we can get our foot down. The good thing about this, of course, is that it's a nippy little bus, isn't it? It's definitely nippy. It's got a good place. I'm looking forward to the new West Country route, because that's obviously a little town runner type affair, isn't it? And I think that's going to be good. The Optare Solo will have a place to live, because there's not really a lot of routes at the moment on this that the Solo is particularly well suited for, is that? I mean, to be honest with you, Strathshire, yep, Strathshire, there's a lot of good little minibus routes on there, but Strathshire is broken for me. I honestly don't know what's caused it to be broken. There we go, return, and you want, good lord, what do you want now? You want 1550.
Why have you given me all these coins?
Because the developer hasn't given me notes, my darling. I don't think there is. If anybody knows where the notes are, shout out now. Oh no, it's not a live stream, is it? People can't shout out. It does sound so much better, doesn't it, than what it used to. I did feel a little bit harsh with my my critique of this bus. I really did feel harsh, but the fact of the matter is, for the amount of money you're paying, you can't deny that when this was first released, it's just not up to scratch in comparison to some of the others. But it's really good to see that improvements have been made. Really, really is good to see. And I hope that he hasn't finished. I really hope he hasn't, you know, because there's so much more that can be done with this. I don't know. I can't imagine that after my glistening comments before, B3D is going to want to be coming around to my house for dinner, you know, having a party, etc, etc. Hang on, where are we? Child return, is that you? Oh, it is. Do you know what, we're going to press Control and T, because I just haven't got the will without the notes to give him all that change back with the change machine. Oh dear, yeah, that is a thing, people. Yeah, developers of the Solo, put some notes in here, some notage. Like a little, like a tippy down thing like that with the coffee. That's nice. A little tippy down thing next to it with a couple of notes in. That'd be beautiful. Or maybe there are already notes here and I'm just missing them. If so, like I said, shout in the comments. Joe, you blithering idiot! They were right in front of you the whole time. Right, there we go. Somebody getting off. you have stopped in a... Oh, okay, yeah, you can just about see the lights there. That'll do. I'm going to say you've stopped in exactly the right place that you can't actually see any of the lights. Sensible. So it's quite easy in real life because obviously if you had stopped, you can sort of move your head about and do this sort of wiggly sort of thing. You know what I mean? If you can drive a car, or if you're a passenger in a car, if you can't see the traffic lights, you can move your head into another place. Not possible on OMSI. It was actually quite funny. One of my friends came round and I was showing them how to do OMSI. I won't name names for fear of embarrassing said person, but we were sat driving along like this. They were doing really well, actually. You see, I'm not even mentioning a gender so that nobody can narrow it down. This person knows who they are. But yeah, we were looking at the lights like that, and said person actually moved their head to look round the side of my computer screen. Yeah, that's yeah. As if, like, says you're not wearing a flipping a track IR business. There's none of that. You have to. Yeah. Oh dear me, it's good, isn't it? It was a funny drive, definitely. I certainly won't be letting said person behind the controls of my my Renown or my Eclipse anytime soon. Off you get, child. Oh, hang on. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Because it's sort of like a guilty pleasure, the Optare Solo. And it's very Marmite. There's a lot of people out there that absolutely love these buses. And there's a lot of people out there that absolutely cannot stand them. Absolutely hate the things. And it's a bit of a weird one, really. It's, you know, some people are like, oh, that's fantastic, I love a little Solo. And others just, horrid, terrible, vile, awful. Trying to think of all the bad insults I can find that have been used against the Solo. But I was never particularly a fan of them. Anyone who knows me, when it comes to buses, I like big buses, full-size single-deckers, double-deckers, etc. I don't like this minibus, midi-bus, which is why I'm not particularly enthralled with the modern bus market, because it's like streetlights and Enviro 200 MMCs, isn't it? I like the B8 RLE, I think that's fantastic, the Evora, and yeah, so I like big buses. But now that these Solos, this sort of generation of Solo, is becoming rarer, I mean, there's still plenty of them out there, but not as many as there once was. You know, obviously there's a lot more Solo SRs about. I do sort of think, should I have preserved one? I don't have the money to preserve one, and to be perfectly honest with you, after learning in one, it was horrific to drive, the one that I learned in. It wasn't good. Compared to, I mean, obviously I hadn't got anything to compare it to at the time when I learned to drive, when I did my bus test. But since I've driven an Eclipse and a Renown, the Renown had no power steering, my B10. The power steering is broken, and it was still nicer to drive than the Optare Solo that I learnt in. So yeah, I think, do I really want to preserve an Optare Solo? Probably not. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people out there that will preserve them, so it'll be nice to see at rallies, because I do sort of have a bit of a soft spot for these buses now they're going. I'll tell you another one, Dennis Darts. Never liked them, never cared for them, because the route that I used to go to school on, the sort of booked, what's the word, on the railway it would be booked traction. The allocated vehicle that it had on the sheets was a B10 BLE, Volvo B10 BLE on our route, but then every now and then a Dennis Dart would turn up, and you'd be, oh no, because they were smaller, so you could guarantee that whilst everyone would have a seat on a B10, the Marshall Capital or the Plaxton Pointer or the ALX 200 Dart would turn up. It wouldn't be able to get up the hill, it would be full and standing, you'd be standing all the way. They seemed damp, and I don't know if it was or if it just seemed like the lights weren't as bright, so they seemed quite dingy. They just weren't nice buses. I'm sure some Darts are wonderful. The Pennine Dart that my good friend John Wright preserved, I love the thing. But yeah, the actual ones that they used to have where I grew up were horrific. But now they've all gone, you sort of think, I miss them. And that's ridiculous. I absolutely never thought that I would say, I never thought that I would say that I missed a Marshall Capital bodied Dennis Dart. Never thought I'd say that, ever, in my wildest dreams. But here we are. Yep, I would quite like to ride on a Marshall Capital bodied Dennis Dart. There you go, said it. I'm not going to say it again. You'll have to rewind the video and watch it again.
Mate. Just a single, please, mate.
Right, there we go.
Lovely. Cheers.
714. He didn't complain. What a triumph that was. Thing is with Scunthorpe is, and you know, this is probably a controversial opinion, but I never know where I am on this map. This is Lincolnshire, obviously, but when you drive the Scunthorpe 2016 map or the 2020 map or whichever version of Scunthorpe you drive, I always think that kind of everywhere looks the same. So I have absolutely no idea at this point where I am in relation to the bus station. If you turn me round now and turned all these funky... I'm waving my hand around in the screen, you can't see it, obviously. But if you turned all the directions off and said, right, go back to the bus station, I wouldn't have a clue. Because all the roads look the same. I don't even think we've gone up a hill yet, have we? Like a slight gradient, maybe. Which is weird, because on Lincolnshire, I'm feeling like that now. However, between Gainsborough and Lincoln, I can sort of work out roughly where I am. So it's obviously no fault of Mr. Moves, it's just the area. It is such a dull area. I'm sure it's lovely. I've never been in real life. I've only been on OMSI. But it's just... there's sort of no landmarks, is there, that stick out of, oh yes, I've just passed that. So I know where oh my lord, look at that. Look where we are. Rochdale Road. Ah. Brilliant. Magic Toad would know where he was. Being from Rochdale. Obviously, if I turn left here and just follow my nose, I'll end up in Rochdale. Probably not. Probably not. God, these timings are tight. I mean, this is a nippy bus. This is a nippy bus. Definitely. And so we're not keeping time in a nippy bus. It's very, very strange. Get our foot down. I would assume that this was based on a real-life timetable. I'd assume. Although I don't know if the 101 actually exists. I can't remember if he... did he tell me? And I'm having to recall what I said, what me and Mr. Moose were saying, because he was telling me all about the map. I can't remember if he said he put the 101 in as like an extra fictional one so that you could have a little shorter service. Or does the 101 run? There'll be people that'll be really offended now. That's my local route. How dare you say it doesn't exist? I don't know why everyone that complains has that voice. They do, don't they? Every single person. Jeremy Clarkson says exactly the same. He always says it in that little voice. Weird. Very weird. I should have done something with the weather, really. The sky's never this clear in well, not just in Lincolnshire, but in the UK in general. I do like the fact that there's absolutely no retarder at all. Or it doesn't feel like there is, because the bus I learned in I really struggled with. Because the Eclipse is lovely and smooth to drive. You just tap your foot, and there's a little bit of, like, the pedal's really gentle to press, like it's really light, so you can press it quite easily on the brake. But then, and if you press it on the light airy bit, that sounds like a sponge cake. But if you press it on the bit that's easy to press, the retarder kicks in, and then it gets quite stiff the further down you go, and then that will trigger the brakes. So a lot of the time in the Eclipse, when you've seen me driving, I don't actually use the brakes a lot of the time. I just slow it down on the retarder. The Solo I learnt in, no such thing was a feature. I don't know if it was turned off, but it was very much the case of, you're pressing your brake a little bit more, nothing's happening, bang, Joe nearly gets launched through the windscreen. And my instructor actually said to me at the time, he says, you're very lead-footed with your braking. Like, I'm not flipping trying to be, I tell you, I'm trying to be gentle and trying to be smooth driver, but it's absolutely not happening at all. Yeah, his only complaint was that I would, look, you see like that, You're nothing, nothing, nothing. Whee! The bus jolts and brakes. I do like that about this Solo. It's done that pretty well. I still don't think that that would be enough to redeem my nasty comments last time, but yeah. Mr. Moose, someone from the council needs to take those weeds off the path, please. Get them rung up. Let's make it. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's wet concrete. Obviously, somebody's. Yeah, they've obviously just redone the path. Everyone's sunk into it. Oh, good lord. Not good. Now we're clearly on the edge of Scunthorpe now, aren't we? Ooh, 50. Let's put our foot down then. Get a bit of 50 action. How fast can this bus go? I have actually taken an Optare Solo on the motorway, you know. Yeah. That one that I learnt anyway. Come on, we're off on the M62. You're having a laugh, aren't you? An Optare Solo on the M62. I have never been so scared behind the wheel in my life. It was terrifying. There we go, 50. Yeah, we did a few junctions on the M62. There was lorries next to me. Come on, overtake that lorry. You can go in the middle lane because you're going faster than he is. Like, they're sobbing behind the wheel. Although we are making a bit of time. Oh, we're at, is that Messingham? Oh, yoink. Slam on in the Solo. Where are we? Messingham Northfield Road. I would like to actually go down to Lincolnshire and travel on the 100 and see how much of it I actually know. I'm not really much of a 100 connoisseur, to be honest with you. Like I couldn't drive it. Like all the West Country routes, I can just drive them off the top of my head now. I don't need directions. I do sort of struggle with this one. I'm better between Gainsborough and Lincoln, like I say, but then that's been out longer, hasn't it? So yeah, obviously I'm going to be better. But these bits around here, I'm a little bit, yeah, my knowledge is not fantastic, let's put it that way. That's being polite. Those houses have got wonky upstairs windows. The textures, they look like they're going up and down. Proper Optare Solo driver now. They used to be like that at Centre Bus. Open the doors before you've stopped. Nobody to get off, so we'll blast past Brig Road. It's one of these routes, isn't it, that like, is it every hour? Is it? It's not every half an hour, is it? I think the 100's every hour, and this is like the 101 is every hour, and they interwork to give a half hour. You know what I'm saying? Like an every half hour frequency between Gainsborough and Scotter. But yeah, it strikes you with this route going between such towns and going such a long distance that it would be more frequent than every hour. You know, like even every 20 minutes, you'd think it would be more frequent. I did actually on the Gainsborough V3, V4, Gainsborough V something or other. I can't remember anymore. It was that long ago. It wasn't that long ago, was it? Because I used the V10. But we changed it up for a Reaver, didn't we? And had like an every 10-minute frequency down the road. I think we might need to do something like that again and add a bit more timetabling in. That'd be awesome. Breaking round. It's very wintry, isn't it? Still looks wintry. It's March the what's it? March the 3rd there. That sun's very low in the sky, isn't it? Not quite as low as sometimes it can be really difficult driving, can't it? When the sun is so low, you driving along just squinting, blinded, you think, God, I hope the person in front doesn't slam on because I won't see him. Just go ploughing straight into the back of them because the sun's so low. I imagine it's quite difficult for bus drivers in general having to do that. But then again, you can always buy these things called sunglasses, which I do believe helps a great deal. Alas, sadly, on the railway, it's you can't just buy your own sunglasses. You have to have specific sunglasses. You sort of have to have approved sunglasses. You can't just have normal sunglasses because it might obscure the colour of the signals, etc. Like if you had a brown tint, for example. So I don't have any sunglasses, so I have to just stand there squinting. Oh, here we are, we're in Scunthorpe. One thing I would like to see is like some sort of thing behind the houses, because obviously you can see the edge of the map, and that's not the first time today that we've seen that. You've got another little bit over there between there. You can clearly see from a driver's perspective that there's nothing behind these houses, and this is sort of a, see like that. It's sort of a theme that runs through this map. I mean, you can get the, I mean, if you look over there, for instance, that's not actually that bad. I thought that was going to be a lot more. Like, you see there's a couple of houses behind, so it makes sense, doesn't it? I think that's because we're not far from the turnaround, are we? But, like, those big wall things, I know that IOMX uses them on West Country. Again, coming back to West Country, because it's a great map. You know, like the big walls that are textured to look like more things, like scenery far away. I think just a couple of them, I can't imagine would impact the frame rate too badly. But I think it'd just improve it, and your eye wouldn't be drawn to that. Whoop, there we go. Off you get, please. Thank you. That's it. Shove off. And here we are. I believe that this is the the 101. Terminus. This is notoriously difficult. I don't know where the pavement's gone. The Cypress Kitchen. The well-known Scottish Cypress Kitchen, I tell you. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave it for today. It's quite a short little trip. It's nearly half an hour. That's what our videos are usually, isn't it? So that's not bad at all. There's a link in the description to this absolutely fantastic repaint from Mark Hodgkinson. Hodgkinson, that's the one. I believe. Yeah, sorry if I got your name there wrong there, Mark. But yeah, absolutely love it. The Solo's a lot better. There's a link in the description for that as well. If you fancied going out and getting it, I honestly wouldn't blame you now. It's definitely improved. So yeah, all in all, very, very good. And do you know what? I'll even be extra generous and bob a link to the mapping as well. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching today. If you've enjoyed it, please click that like button. And if you're enjoying the OMSI content, or bus content in general, please do make sure that you subscribe so you never miss out on any future episodes. Other than that, as I say, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Cheerio! Goodbye for now.